So easily today, we're going to start out with comparing the old with the new model. What this is going to talk about is we're going to go in and we're going to look at what model compare does and understand how we can utilize it to know what is actually changed when people give us drawings back and we don't know what's going on. A lot of times they don't remember, a lot of times they forget, and so we want to double check that and make sure everything is correct to what it needs to be. So today I'm your host, Zachery Rico. I'm an MEP technical specialist here at ATG USA. I've worked with ATG for over a year now. So let's go ahead, let's get kicked off, let's get rocking and rolling, let's keep on going. So let's go ahead and talk about our main goals today. And that is understanding what information is being utilized when we bring in this tool and how we operate it. We want to make sure that we know what is going on. We also want to see how the differences of the information of the model, so we can compare what is what. When we look at what they give us versus what has changed, what is the differences, what has stayed the same, what is included in the drawing, what has been taken out, different things like that, so we can look into it. And then also what we want to look at is taking the information that we've been getting it and putting it into use, so we can easily see, all right, let's go ahead, let's see where this has changed, and let's see how it can affect us and run with something new. So we can easily run with it, keep it going, keep it rocking and rolling. But our biggest goal here is knowing what the difference is in the model that some people do not, that people that just don't tell us at all. So we want to understand and utilize this tool at its ultimate goal, just like everything else in our projects. We want to make sure it's top notch and going well. So for that, let's go ahead and get in this demo here, and let's go ahead and rock and roll with this tool. Currently, I have a Revit project already open, ready to rock and roll, already set up. There's already been changes and running through everything. So now to start out, we're easily going to start in the BIM Project Suite. And then inside the Premium Tools, this MC in alphabetical order is Model Compare. Starting out, go ahead and click on it. Let's get it rocking and rolling and running. So immediately, there's no information showing. Reason being for that is because we don't have a comparison going. We don't have our elements in here. We don't have our parameters. We don't have a report or anything like that because we haven't compared anything. But to start out with that, we want to take a snapshot. And when we want to take a snapshot, it's always going to ask this is, hey, even when we open a project brand new, does it say, hey, there's been some unsafe changes. Do you want to look into it? Do you wish to continue? We usually want to click yes. This will allow us to, still keep going and still go ahead and look through everything. Now, to start out, immediately we have our categories. What is included? This is where we can see everything. We can see what all categories are being included inside of Revit. So we know, all right, this is what's in here and what we want to include. We can also not include these at all. We can get rid of it, uncheck it, nothing will be in there, and we can, edit everything. Now, options and even sub options of those. So I can easily uncheck a good set where it only includes families and types, but does not include the family instances and groups as well. So some key things that we can play off and adjust as we need to or want, especially when we want to know what specifically we want to call out. If we want to call out a specific height changes, width changes, different things like that, we can easily find those and locate those as per our requests. Then we can go into here of where to search. We can easily search by the levels, by the phases, by the views. We can easily sort these out on however we want to operate. So if we only have the first 2 floors of a 10-story building, okay, let's only focus on those 2 levels or those 2 areas and those 2 phases and get it done and get it rocking and rolling. Alrighty. And then up here, we can select where we want to save this file to and run with it that way. I'm not going to start that because I already have a file set up for us to go ahead and compare. So to start a comparison, we easily go here to compare. and start a new comparison. Elements, and then I also have all my parameters that I wanted, and continuing on. So I can go ahead and click OK. Now what this is going to do is it's going to take a minute to go through every single piece of information inside our drawings and our models and go, okay, this, you know, these are the ones that have stayed the same. These are the ones that have changed. These are the ones that have included different things. This one for excluded. So we can see that. And what's also nice is we have a color legend right here at the bottom to see, hey, this is the same, this is different, wasn't in here, but now it's added. This was in here, but then was removed. So we can see that. So automatically starting out, you can see there's a big time jump. I purposely did this because we can show, all right, this project was put on pause for a while due to it being over Christmas and different information to show, hey, my model objects have increased, my annotation objects have increased, my families have increased, along with my views have decreased, and along with my schedules increasing, to kind of show, all right, hey, these have changed, this is what's going on, going it through that way as well. Now, as I go into elements here, this is where we're going to really see what's going on. So as I expand my families, my model groups, my model categories, and my annotational categories, we can see a lot here, a lot of yellow. Things have changed, things are different in here. So we can see that immediately. As I expand these out, you can see each one is changed in its own way as I pull them and go through the information. What's also different is right here, the structural load cases, it was taken out. The information is no longer there. So I can't utilize it. I can't run with it. But hey, I know it's not there and it should be in there. I can put it back in. I can run with it back in. Now, what's also nice is I am going to go ahead and start out and finding this. This is kind of key because I don't know where it is, but somehow it has changed. I have these two buttons up here. I have the auto zoom, which allows me to zoom in on the actual piece of equipment itself. And then I have the auto select where it will select it for me. So if I go to auto zoom, it's not going to go ahead and select it because it can't find it for the moment. But if I come down here, go into my air terminals real quick, specify, hey, this one right here, this specific piece, automatically my auto zoom is already clicked because all I have to do is click it once and it stays on. It went in and found my air terminal right here. It found it, it immediately got it. But as soon as I click auto select, boom, it's selected, ready to go. I can go ahead and do this for any one of them that I want to see fit. As you see, it changes and changes and changes. I can do this with all of them. I can even go into ducts here, select this piece of duct, and it'll take me right to it. Simple, easy, allows us to see, okay, where is this change? What specifically is this? And going on and moving forward with it. As I go into parameters here, this is quite key. The reason being for that is because not a lot of people notice changes within our parameters. Not many people see, okay, it's just a simple parameter, nothing much has changed, but we have to change it over time to evolve and to make it better. So as you can see here, as I expand everything and expand different stuff, you can see what all has changed in information. I can see the identifier has changed. I can go in and see more information of, hey, this has been changed to 8 feet where it was none at all. So I can go in and get that information and get all of what I need to, so I can easily see, okay, can't really see it because there's no good enough view for it. Would we like to continue? Okay, this allows us to even see, hey, where is this area at? So as you can see, it's right in here to see here, this is the best view of it. And it even created a view for me or opened up a plan for me that I already have so I can see what it is calling out with. So I can get the best possible possible view for it. Continuing on, I can also change everything down here to say, hey, what is equal? Put the equal in there. Let's see that. Let's see what is stayed the same. What information is that? So I can see all this green in here. And times we can always select them, deselect them to get what we want and what we need. Now going into our report. Our report is going to be massive. The reason being for that is it's pulling in all of our families, all of our details, different things like that to show what we have and what we need. This is quite important because we're getting into the nitty gritty. We're getting down and dirty. We're getting this information set up. We're looking at it. So starting out here, immediately general information along with some key information up here to know what has gone on, what is still the same, what has changed, different things like that. So as I come in here, starting out with families, these are all sorted by categories, which is absolutely amazing. Keeps it nice, simple, so I know, okay, these are these things, keeping them grouped together so I'm not all over the place and wonky. I like my stuff sorted up, keep it nice and simple so I know where everything's at. So as we go ahead and look into our revisions, there was none existing, but now there one is within the system in a revision cloud, and it shows that right there. I could even go ahead and select on it and it'll take me to it. What's also nice is it shows me the Revit ID or the type number. So that makes it easy for me to go, okay, this is what it is. A lot of times people are like, no, I don't want the ID number. It's not useful. I don't understand it. Well, I'm sorry, but this is how it goes. The reason that it's better to have the ID number is because every single family and everything else is different. It comes with a GUID number. It comes with a different element. And if you have multiple things that are named the same, it's going to be confusing to read the data and the information. So that's why this is key on all of this. We can even see that the structural load is not in here anymore. As we scroll down here, we can see the differences. We can see coming into the diameter is changing along with other information as I scroll down here. I am sorry, I'm going a little bit fast. This is a bigger size for this piece of information, so kind of giving us that time to look through a little bit, kind of go through, see what everything is. So as I keep going through all this information, I can see that. What's also nice is I can see and compare what the equals are as well. So I'm going to do a fast quick through and going and saying, all right, here's what we're running with. Now, immediately stopped at the yellow. Here's why. This is a big information change to see what we already have in there to what has changed. So as you can see here, our HVAC zones, this is increased by a little bit. It still shows that increase. It still shows that information. It even shows, hey, this was in here. Now it's not in that zone anymore. It's not in the space anymore. It's changed. Why? We can go in here. We want to see it and go through. Currently, it's not working for me at the moment because it comes through elements and parameters of this. This report is just giving us the information of what everything is. Now, we can also copy all this information as well and set up different filters even through this. So we can filter our library down even more and figure out what we want and what we need. Now, once this is loaded up fully, I'm going to go ahead and show you a scheduler so we know what we can see from changes not only inside our company, but outside the company when we get drawings from our consultants. So when we know, hey, every day, 3 o'clock, we're getting new information from them, we're gonna run this, we're gonna see what's being updated, what's changed, what's what's improved. We're easily going to run through it. We're easily going to find it. So we have that report. As always here, we can save these reports out. We can save this information out so we can have multiple ones that we can compare over time to see how our project has gone on through the changes that it has been. So we have that, we know that, we can run with that. Now, I will also say if you guys do have questions, we have our Q&A tab open that you can always ask and always bring in, just to remind you guys of that for any questions you have later on down the road when we get to that area. But I also want to show you guys that, hey, this information will always help us out. When I personally was going through drawings, a lot of times I didn't get the information or the right answers for everything. An architect would tell me this is, 30 feet of width inside a room, when really it was only 25 feet. This information pulls the correct data, the exact data to know, hey, what is actually in here? What is the actual depth? What is the actual information to make it easy so I know what is actually changing? So if anything does change or anything is not correct or right, I can easily let the people of whoever I'm working with know. As a manager, this is nice to see how our projects are going and evolving over time. How are we spending this information to where, all right, here's what we're usually using, here's the different types, the different pieces of information, this is what we gather and run through it that way. Now, going ahead and going to quick filters real quick, this takes us back to what I showed you in the beginning of changing what we're searching for and what to include. Takes us right back in here. Now, going into the scheduler configs, this is where we easily throw those in there and run with it. If we don't, we can save it to a place. What's also nice is I have the subfolder name of date and time. Kind of nice. Makes everything go, all right, so we did this back in 2018 at 3 o'clock. All right, we did it on this exact date and ran with it. Now, I have this snapshot, naming rules here. This is all the rules. This is what will be included and in what order. So I can easily put in file name. I can easily put in energy settings, the project address, project name, and I can sort this out by any means necessary. So, hey, I don't need energy saving, but I want the project number in there, and I want to adjust it to where, hey, project number comes before the address. I can see that information down here low at the bottom because it gives me a description. I can also add custom text in here. That's kind of unique because we can kind of customize saying, hey, this was in kind of 2018, 2019, running through it, kind of get that information, customize it, what we need to and what we want to. And then we can also change the separators to be hyphens, spaces, and by checking this box right here, adds it right here. So very unique, very awesome. Good way to set it up, good way to run with it, make it easier for ourselves. I'm not going to save this at all, just to have our time saved and keep on rolling. So now we're going into the schedule here. This is always going to pop up unless you click do not show me this again, get that information. But hey, we're going to start a new one, create new. Now, if a lot of you have the BIM Project Suite, you kind of know how this tool already works. And with some other suites, this tool is kind of in there. But for a lot of you that don't know, easily we can set up how we want to run our stuff. So we can set it up for a one-time. So we could set it for the end of the day. run it, see what has changed and what has, gone across. We can even set it for time zones as well. So if, hey, at 5 o'clock, I am going to be flying to Texas. And by the time I land, I want this all ran, set up, and done. But I land at 4:30. This gives me enough time to open Revit, get everything set up. All right, boom, it's run, set up easily. I'm at the hotel. I don't have to worry. All I have to do is just open Revit, and it'll do it for me. I can do it by daily, a recurring amount of days, run through it that way. I can even set it by weekly. And even within the weeks, I can set it on, all right, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for 6 weeks. This is what it's going to do. It's going to stop at a certain time. I can easily set that up to where, hey, it starts on the, stops on the 29th or stops on, the 21st. I can easily do that and change the times as well and run with it. I can even do by monthly. So I can select all the months right here. Deselect, select. I can do it on specific days of the week. The 28th, last day, that way. And then what to do. This is going to run specific programs or run a specific program or script first. So we can easily find whatever script we're running with that we have set up and can run with it that way. And then we can add configuring files to it. So we can easily add certain files that we already, sorry, I couldn't speak, but different files that we already have set up, bring those in, kind of continue off them and run with it that way. So this is going to be key on all of our setups and all of our different features to make sure that we're running at a smooth process, that things are going, that they are, that nothing's changing dramatically, and that we're still running with the same setups. So easily, that is our little demo for right now. Continuing on, we're going to go into review. So let's kind of go over what we had and what we saw. So we basically saw the information that was pulled and used when we were doing a screenshot within the tool. We saw all of this information. We saw all the parameters, all of the elements, all the categories from model and annotation to see, all right, this is what's in here. This is what's going on. Then we looked at the differences in the tool's information. So we could see, all right, this is what's changed. This is what stayed the same. This is what's added, what's taken apart. We can see in live data what's going on. It's not live as instance of, okay, it's continuously going at a constant pace and reading everything at once. It's just taking, all right, hey, from this, information from this screenshot, from, the snapshot of what we took, here's what we have, here's what's going on, here's currently where we're at. And then we also capitalized on the information that was given to us. So we could focus on what was important, what was needed, and what is valuable to us. So we could say, hey, I know that this duct should not have changed. This area should not have changed. Why did it change? What's going on? The architect shrunk or some engineer shrunk some piece of data. Well, great. Let's go ahead and see what the hell is done. Let's go fix it. Let's go make sure everything's set up, run properly, and get this fixed so we know what's going on and what is happening. I want to thank you all for coming and joining in and sitting in with me. And once again, my name is Zachery Rico. I am an MEP technical specialist here at ATG. So want to still thank you all. Here's my contact information. If you guys do have questions at any time or any point that you can, go ahead, give me a shout, give me an information of, hey, I'm having problem, whether it be on model compare or any of the tools going on right now. So thank you all and have a wonderful evening.